Hello, hello. We're back at it again. We are 29 days away from upper facial feminization surgery. How is everyone? It's Christmas. Are we having fun? I hope so. It's a great year. It's a great year. You might be wondering, why do you have your hand over your face? And I have a band-aid on because my electrolysis has been burning me. So, what more fitting time to put this bandage on that makes me look like a Whoville character? I own the license and trademarks, by the way. This isn't a Dr. Seuss thing. I will fight you in court to the death, mind you, that I own the Grinch. I'm the owner, and I'm allowed to look like. um, I could probably cut these pads. Oh man, where's my phone? We got we misplaced our phone somewhere. Hold on, I'll be back. Okay. I love my lack of facial expressions. Maybe when I have surgery, this is how I end up being, right? Wouldn't that be great? I'd be all snooty and booty, and I have a nice little slopey nose. That's what I'm going for. I just want a slopey nose. I've shown you before. My upper brow is kind of the area that they can touch up on. It's not anything too crazy, but we do have a bit of a prominent brow. It's not like the end of the world, and like a face-on kind of position. But when we go to the side, I've showed it a few times. I don't feel like refilming the intro, so we're just gonna keep it going. We're just gonna keep it nice and relaxing. It's Christmas. Christmas, yeah. Ooh, I'm a Whoville Christmas. Anyway, yeah, so we have a hydrocolloid bandage on. Hydro, Colloid. It's supposed to promote healing. I have recently kind of found out that, like, I was talking to another electrolysis friend, and um, I've been going to electrolysis for 3-4 months ish, 3 months, about something like that. They're burning me. They're burning my skin. Granted, when you go for electrolysis, they stick a needle into each hair follicle. Then they do a thingy and electrocute you, and then you kind of have to. Um, New voicemail. Nine. What is going on here? Get out of here! Get out of here! Ruining my video. What are you doing? I'm trying to do a Whoville Christmas here. Anyway, freaking. I hate this. It looks so weird. Um, yeah. So basically, they've been like burning my skin, and there's like a lot of redness through here. There's like a pimple up here that kind of whatever. My skin tone looks a lot better with this on it. It'd be cool if it just goes back to this kind of thing because like I really don't like how red it is. It's like, do I really want to wear makeup for freaking ever because I got a little bit of hair removed? I still have a couple hairs coming in. Now, in the past, I have had laser hair removal twice. I had it in 2010, I think it was. It was like right before I started transitioning. I was just like, or maybe it was like early transition. Maybe it was like a couple months into it. And I was just getting laser. And we kind of hit a lot of the areas. We had the neck beard. We had the horrible neck beard, by the way. That was us. We had like the gross neck beard, nothing coming in like properly. It just grew in gross. And I'm so glad that I could get away from that. I still see guys in like dating apps that are just like the 2.5 out of 10s. They're just like, yeah, I could see myself as your equal, and I'm gonna actually go out of my way to like hit you up, kind of thing. Granted, I don't know their lives. They may have had some sort of career success and really dedicated and whatnot, but like alcoholics, cigarette smokers, not my thing. It's not my thing. I'm sorry. It's like a very big turnoff for me. Especially since I've gotten through these phases and have gotten over it. I think also because of surgery, um, cigarette smoking is even more so of like a deterrent for me. Um, but like as far as like drinking, I uh, I have such a bad family rap with like the people that like do that because like I have the people in my life that just go consistently with it. My father, let's see, what are we? We're at the 25th. How many more days of the month or the year? We have like 7 days left of the year, 6 days of the year. So consistently, my dad is like on day like 350 something in a row of drinking. So that's kind of where we're at. And it's just like it's really fun to like live around like these type of people. And even if you're not like full blown alcoholic kind of thing, even if you're just like, oh, I'm just drinking on the weekend or whatever, it's not appealing to me. It's just not. Anyway, um, couple random thoughts, right? So, hi, I'm a Whoville. So gross, so weird. It's like I have the thinnest lips ever. I need the Caroline Levitt treatment. I need to start injecting and have the marks, right? I hate this. I probably could have cut this pad. I don't know about the effectiveness of like everything, but I could do a little bit more research moving forward with like other pads kind of thing. We are doing everything we can to stay healthy through this season. Since surgery was on January 23rd, we got a call yesterday from the Cleveland Clinic for my procedure, and that it is going to be this thing that like basically they're just like, okay, we got your information. You don't have a primary care physician on file. I'm like, what? So I just gave them my primary care, and they're like, well, we can't find that, and it's just like, okay, just use this other one. They're like, oh, we found that. Okay, cool. Um, that's where we're at with like that, and I don't know. It's just weird because like after that phone call, they were just like, okay, so you're registered for surgery. We'll give you a phone call the day before surgery, kind of thing, right? Um, However, I had a printout sheet of like a little checklist of things that I had to do. The first thing on the checklist is like a signed consent form between you and the surgeon. Do I have that done? I do not know. And it's like, oh, like kind of concerning to me because it's like if you do not follow all of these steps, surgery could be postponed or canceled, kind of thing, right? So I think maybe possibly sort of when I went in person to my first consult that we already did this step, but there's a chance that I didn't, right? So if I didn't, I'm just like, what do I do? So I kind of have to go over and make sure that I have that step completed. It's really kind of stressful because it's such a simple kind of step. It's just like, okay, sign here. Okay, you're good. Um, the next thing on the list is essentially the physical, and the anesthesia team has to do like a checkup to make sure that they're able to do the anesthetic and that I'm good for anesthesia kind of thing before surgery. So this is like standard protocol. You kind of have to go through this process, for something like this. And while I live so far away, it makes it a little difficult to just, okay, I'm going to pop in, I'm going to do this, I'm just going to go home, live my day kind of thing. This is like a 3.5 hour drive out. This is like 3.5 hour drive back. And it's toll road money, it's gas money, it's parking money. If it's a cold day out, I don't want to like risk getting cold and weakening my immune system and then going into a hospital where people are actively sick, especially during a season where the flu is at its peak. So like it's scary for someone like me that is typically someone that catches sickness pretty easily. Now we're doing our best to like mitigate any sort of like sickness stuff. We are hand sanitizing anytime we go out of like a grocery store, anytime we like leave a public space. We're masking if we're going into like a pharmacy specifically when I went to pick this up, which was a good idea because I couldn't find anything. And I had to go to a sales associate. I asked them like, do you have these whatever, and I showed her a picture and she's like, I've never seen these in my life. And then like immediately 180 to the other way. She's just like, they're over here. I'm like, okay, cool. But she was like, uh, uh, the whole way. It's like, oh my god, no, 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 no. Okay, I'm so glad I got a mask on, right? I got aloe for this, and I got saline spray. I already got like Flonase. Doesn't do the same thing as a saline spray. The saline spray you're supposed to use like 2 to 3 times a day, depending on if you're going out. You should use it beforehand. I am juggling. I'm learning. I'm just, you know, doing everything that I possibly can. I think this really reflects like my dedication and understanding of the process and just like the situation that I'm in with everything to really just micromanage things. Now I know when I took zinc, there's an issue with my ankylosing spondylitis. I don't know if I mentioned this in my previous video, but there can be flare-ups with that if I have too much stress. If there's any changes to my immune system whatsoever, it can potentially cause some sort of flare-up. The flare-ups come on slowly. The flare-ups leave slowly. If you nurse it completely 100% properly, it still takes time. The flare-ups can last from 1 week to 6 weeks, even up to 8 weeks, depending if you're really just not, you know, working on it kind of thing. But we have this neck pain, complications, injuries kind of thing. I talked to a nurse that is within my insurance company that was navigating my care for this surgery. They reached out to me when I had like 30 days left or 31 days left, I think it was. They called me and it was just like, is there anything going on with you? And I'm like, well, I kind of have this like neck stiffness and pain and like complications with that. And I kind of had to stop my part-time job because I don't want to catch the flu and I don't want to have to like injure my neck at all. Like doing simple tasks, the money isn't exactly worth it at this point. Um, so that's where we're at. And we're doing, oh my God, stop. We gotta mute it. We gotta mute it. No, we're gonna lose our phone. Um, but like, it's been a thing. So it's just like, I think I'm doing everything kind of right. As far as eating healthy, proper dieting stuff, from my own research, I don't have to completely cut out processed foods. That's a big thing for a surgery like this and recovering and just swelling, potential scarring if you're not eating like a balanced meal, if you don't have a high enough protein intake. Um, but I think a lot of people go into this not caring at all. I've talked to people that have drank alcohol like going into the day of surgery kind of thing. I have talked to people that, smoke like after they get their blood work kind of thing. That's not where I'm at with this. I literally haven't smoked. I don't smoke tobacco or anything, but like it's just like I am doing my best to like avoid literally everything. People vape around me. I am going out of my way to like leave the situation, even though I know it doesn't get in your system as easily as some people may believe. But I am mitigating everything. I'm doing everything I possibly can within my realm of what I can do, right? So I think that shows the dedication that I have toward this. I'm doing like I really just hope that I don't end up getting sick because this is like detrimental to my health. If I end up getting sick and I have to postpone, or if there's something else that happens, my car breaks down, something, anything, literally anything that's going to postpone this, it's going to drastically affect my mental health. I literally spent my entire 33rd year of life doing nothing but focusing on getting this done, getting this scheduled, facing denials, and just buckling down and making sure that I get this moving as fast as possible. And this is where we're at with it. I feel like even every bit of effort that I put into it, I got tacked on like an extra 3, 4 months that I definitely didn't need to compared to like other people that are in the same situation. So, is it like a world renowned surgeon? No. Um, I don't know what to expect for the results. Um, but like I'm pretty confident in the surgeon, and like I've said before, the results I've seen are more um just our facial structures of like the people that I've seen, the before and afters, are absolutely incomparable to like how my face looks. Um, do I think that they can do a good job? I really hope so. I really have some faith in this surgeon. I think they care. I read some reviews that like some people are just like a little bit iffy about things, but at the same time, these are people that don't understand like the recovery process isn't just like a couple weeks, it can be months, like kind of thing. I've seen people that have like a lot of swelling in their nose afterwards. I've seen people that just like were a little bit discouraged or like questioning things for some time, which happens. I have another friend that had like facial feminization that um didn't go to the same surgeon, but they said like the swelling has lasted for like about a year, that they thought they were botched in their nose kind of thing. And they have an absolutely gorgeous nose. It is so like perfect. And like, so yeah, we're just doing what we can. I just hope like, like I said, I just hope that like things play out in a smooth kind of pattern here. We have a GoFundMe up. We're over 50% with our goal on the GoFundMe for traveling expenses, essentially. There's a little bit new news with things that, like, I was told that the blood work had to be done within 30 days of surgery when I talked to the surgeon, and no later than 7 days prior to surgery, just so it has a chance to process it, because there can be like some holdups and it can take some time, right? So, when I called to schedule my anesthesia checkup kind of thing, so we had that phone call that they're like, okay, you're checked in, we're going to give you the date. And I'm just like, well, wait a minute, because I have you on the phone and because I read the paper and I know what I have to do on this little checklist thing. Do I get this scheduled or like do I need it? And they're like, well, I don't do that part, but like we can transfer you. I got transferred. The person's out of office that I was supposed to talk to until the first, because why not? That's literally been my process. That people are out of the office like a month's worth of time, over a month's worth of time already in my process, that has delayed me even further with everything. We do have the ankylosing spondylitis. Things are potentially getting worse with this the longer I put off taking medication. But to my understanding, if I did miss my surgery, I'm going into like a higher priority of getting an OR day. I know I'm already on cancellation list. They didn't put me on like any sort of cancellation, so we kind of stuck with the same date. But moving forward, if I do miss my appointment, hopefully they can get me in sooner than later. As to if like the blood work and everything stays and the result like that we have to like retake those things, I'm not 100% sure. So when I called to schedule the anesthesia, everything, the provider, the representative told me you could schedule on the 22nd, the day before surgery, for this. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. I have to do the blood work. I was waiting to do this all in one trip kind of thing. So I already know that if I would have scheduled that, that would have postponed me for surgery. This is the importance of me being active and proactive in understanding my care. And I still look like a Whoville character right now. Anyway, um, uh, and so this is where things get a little bit questionable, or like I just don't know for sure. I'm gonna try to get the answers to this stuff, and so like basically, yeah, I'm just running you through the process of somebody that is like actively understanding the entirety of the picture of what's happening and making sure that everything, all the puzzle pieces are in place. I like control of situations. And this is one of those situations that it just feels like I'm just kind of free falling. And I know if I just like miss a ledge, that's enough to like deter everything and just put everything in jeopardy kind of thing. So there is another option kind of thing with some of this. So I could potentially, right? Um, my uh, Cleveland Clinic, like my chart, and my local my chart kind of thing mesh that there is like on the back side of things that my providers can see between um, everything kind of thing. So I talk to my doctor regularly, and I kind of brought up the point to them that it's like, I've heard that other girls that are going out to get this surgery did the blood work locally, they did the physical locally. Um, Maybe I should just do that. And then if I scheduled for the anesthesia clearance on the 22nd, the day before surgery, then I can make one single trip out of state and mitigate some costs. Then I can just get a hotel on the 22nd. I go get my testing done. I hold the food that I'm supposed to. And after like midnight, I think it is, that I can't even have water. So it's kind of like that's where we're at with that. But like the odds are the surgery will be scheduled earlier in the day rather than later. Who knows, right? I may not get like a full night of sleep prior to surgery, but if I'm like taking like an anesthesia nap, then like that would be kind of fine too. I mean maybe that'll get me some of my rest. Um, so I have questions for my physicians. Once I get some more information, I'm sure I'll make another video to make this all make sense. I have never seen any other person in my shoes going to such lengths to verify and re-verify and make sure that everything, all the boxes are checked. I literally only have a tiny checklist. There's like 5 things I specifically need to do, and then I just need to show up for surgery at the proper place at the proper time on surgery day, right? Um, so this checklist is again, number one, I have to get the signed form from me and my surgeon. Do I already have it? I don't know. Trying to verify that sooner than later. Number two, we have to do the physical. We have to do the anesthesia test. Number three, we have to do blood work. Number four, and I've had the blood work order since my 109 days until surgery date scheduled for me to get done. I was gonna just get them done, and I didn't. I didn't get them done. So I was like, well, I was already kind of informed by other people that I have to kind of wait. But anyway, number four is to go for any additional testing that your physician or providers want you to go for. So that's like MRI, CT, whatever, stuff like that. I know MRIs can take a while. I know I have this neck issue. From what I understand, I don't know if my wording is exactly proper, but like I've had ongoing issues with like a already identified health issue with the autoimmune stuff, that this isn't acute. I think that's the word, that it's not something new. It's not like something just happened. We already know what this kind of is, a bulging disc and a slip disc, even if that's what it is. I haven't had enough imaging to really determine if that's what it is in the neck. Could, it seems scary, but it's not like the end of the world. Um, but like, I have to, you know, I like when I talked to the my nurse kind of manager of my through my insurance that asked me questions and everything. And when I brought up that like my neck's having issues, they kind of said, "Oh, I don't know if you're actually going to be cleared for surgery." And I'm like, "What?" Because both my primary care physician and my therapist were like, "Well, that's not going to stop you. You're going to be fine. You're going to get cleared." But maybe it's just because they want to take the safer route and just say like, "Hey, you know, better safe than sorry," to just say like, "Hey, yeah, we'll just have to see what they say when you go in." So if I go in and they say, "Well, you're not approved," and I get a hotel and all this, and then it's just like, "Oh, okay, now I just wasted a lot of money to find out that I'm not healthy enough to get this surgery that's potentially like life saving." I mean, I don't know how else to really put it. This has been 8 years of actively wanting this and just wanting the freedom of being able to express myself a little bit more feminine in public and just being able to get away with just existing and being happy and just like feeling comfortable in my own skin and being identified like more proper to how my internal feelings are. And I don't have this like toxic masculinity about me. I don't have this dominance. I've explained this to people that it's just like it's not me. I'd rather talk about curtains and home improvement than I would talking about tractors and like, rebars or I don't know. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah. The fifth thing on the list is something very simple, and it's just like to check in at the main desk and make sure to like link up your my chart so they have your information and whatever. So like with that, I just don't know exactly what the main desk is. Is this going to be at the surgery main desk? Is this going to be at like where I'm supposed to go for the anesthesia check-in, whatever? Um, but then even with all of that out of the way, I do have another layer of kind of not confusion, but because I already know and I'm already aware of like what I'm supposed to do with this, but like, and I've been told by the surgeon, but this was like 4 months ago, right? And this was also like 6 months ago when I talked to the surgeon then, that I'm supposed to hold specific medications. So I'm supposed to hold the NSAIDs type medication, which is the um, meloxicam for me, like ibuprofen, stuff like that. I'm supposed to hold supplements for 2 weeks before surgery, largely. I don't know if that applies to vitamin D. I don't know if that applies to vitamin C. It makes me a little bit concerned that, I still have to get through 2 weeks of existing in a high flu like um, environment kind of thing. So everything really kind of pushes me into like such a stressful kind of category with a lot of this. Fingers crossed that I don't get sick. It has been, I think, like a record breaking streak of me not getting ill recently and this around this time of year. I know maybe when I went to the gym like all year, was that last year? Yeah, that was well, maybe it was even earlier. But like I ended up not getting sick for a very, very long time. I ended up getting sick in February though with COVID during that. The following year? No, what was it? Was it the flu? It was something. I ended up getting the flu really bad last year, and it just makes me wonder since they're saying it's a new flu variant this year, am I still at risk of getting some sort of like crazy flu? I'm also to the understanding that like if the flu strain is similar, then I already have like some possible immunity recognition within my immune system to like deal with it kind of thing. I also had the flu vaccination, the COVID booster again, um, and a pneumonia vaccine because I started an immunosuppressant, but then I stopped. So I have like some advantages into like these things. Granted, they only work so much. Um, the best thing, to my understanding, is just keeping the hands washed, not touching the face, not rubbing the eyes, definitely not sticking my finger in my nose. That's a hard one. I'm a nose picker. Um, in these dry months, every once in a while I'll start scraping around. So I need to not do that. Also, once I get surgery, you kind of can't like stick your finger in your nose, or it all depends on how the surgeon does it. But like I've had friends that have said that like, oh, and literally the same surgeon that like, oh, I used to be able to like stick my finger in my nose, but now after surgery I can't. I welcome that. I don't want to get sick. Do you know what I mean? I would rather have that and just have like the safeguard of like, okay, and like subconsciously I'm trying to like, and I can't, and it's like, okay, let's get a tissue, right? Rather than getting sick, given everything that I have going on with my health. That's about all that I have to kind of go over with this subject, and I think that's basically a pretty good long video, Christmas special, right? Um, yeah, and I think I covered quite a bit. Um, but yeah, and I know like some of this is a little bit of repeating. I think this is more like if somebody were in like my shoes that's going through this process, these are kind of the checks and balances you kind of need to make sure that you go through so you don't get delayed or have surgery postponed. The one big thing that I know some people fail with is testing positive for nicotine or THC in their blood work prior to surgery when they go for the blood work tests. And for me, I have done nothing but avoid these type of people. I know secondhand smoke can potentially give you a positive test, but it's very hard. You kind of have to like be in a room for multiple days with somebody that's smoking heavily, to my understanding, to be able to test positive. At the same time, this is such a big deal for me that I'm like anybody that's just like vaping around me, like I just get like disgruntled. I have to leave. I have to like get away from them, right? So a lot of things are at play, a lot of anxiety behind all these things. But the longer I manage these things, the easier it kind of sort of gets in a sense. Um, as far as the neck locking up and like the pain that I was going through this like flare up with the neck, it's been about a week and a half. I still have like some tightness. I'm trying to do less muscle guarding. I am getting a TENS unit in the mail here in like 2 days. I need to really make sure to not overdo it, but that could potentially be like the saving grace and really be the big alleviator of these um, discomforts that I'm going through. I'm 34. My body's kind of failing in its own way anyway, but like the immune stuff is not helping, right? Um, so I think that's about it for this one. I'm like really excited about everything. I'm doing everything that I can to like kill my time in not even a productive way anymore, just in a way that I feel like what I would classify as being productive in this time is to not overstress and then not get like too bent out of shape about the news and like the trans youth healthcare and that they're like pushing to do away with like doctors and whatever with the trans youth um, healthcare sooner than it should be implemented kind of thing. And after so much research, I can't I can't like explain it kind of thing, but like the way that like everything's kind of shaping and forming up, they're going after trans youth first, then they're going to try to target adults, and it's just a matter of like the wording. They're trying to get the wording down with the trans youth to be able to get to transgender adults essentially. And when this has been something that like it wasn't a fad for me. It wasn't like this like or like the take of like oh and like everybody's doing it so you might as well do it too or like however people want to like try to interpret this. Oh, it's literally everywhere now. You can't get away from it on social media. I don't think Twitter existed when I started transitioning. Did it exist in freaking 2012? I don't know. I've never really even done Twitter seriously, only for like a very short window of time until they changed it to X, and it's like this isn't worth it. I don't feel safe here. Um, so that's kind of where everything is with all this, and you know, I'm just gonna continue to live my life. There's no other path that I'd rather be on, and it's unfortunate that some large group of people want to act a certain way around us or get a little bit more vocal. I could see that they'd be more dangerous if there were less, you know, less laws and whatever that, like if they could get away with things, they'd get away with things. That's how I feel about certain people and just the way that things have been interpreted. But I've grown up on 4chan. I, not the best place, right? I've been number 4 on Xbox 360. I will say it every video. I don't care. It's my only accomplishment. Uh, so I've been around trash talkers. I understand like the mindset of like a negative person, a hungry belly, and like just the correlation between like being that person and then changing once you're in a better mood kind of thing. But at the same time, it's just like it's so bizarre and weird that like anybody would have anything to say, or even like the trans people are even a point of topic at this point because there's so much worse going on in the world right now. Literally, what am I doing? I'm hanging out. I'm being if I'm a guy, I'm a really cute guy. I'm sorry, but like I'm not saying that to like toot my own horn either. I'm just saying from a testimonial of like the people I interact with and how they interact with me. So, it's like I just want to be girl. I just want to win. I just want to win. I want to get my way and I want to win. I've seen other people get their ways that have been on hormones for a sixth of the amount of time as me, fourth of the amount of time as me, half the amount of time as me, get multiple surgeries in half the amount of time as me. I have waited and waited and waited, and I have dealt with so much. I live in a situation that's not the best as a home life because I can't take care of myself. I mean, I can't reliably without injuring myself at like a job kind of thing. And I could maybe get away with being a CEO of somewhere if somebody wants to give me a position like that. But like manual labor not working out so good for this body. It's not built for that. I wish I could get back to the gym. I wish I could do like the gym life, and that was the best. It was just amazing to wake up in the morning and be there like 4:45. They open up in 15 minutes. It's like, all right, let's get pumped up. Let's listen to music. We got the music going. We're there for an hour. We're having a good time. We start our day, but my body doesn't really allow that anymore. And I'm scared once I start immunosuppressants, I won't have that as an option really because it's as simple as somebody coming through coughing in the locker room and there we go. So, not that I'm going to wear like a mask at the gym. That's a little bit too much oxygen deprivation for somebody that does a lot of cardio and goes very hard at it. Um, as if my body would even allow me to do an elliptical, I don't know. My dream, by the way, my dream when I started transitioning, when I was at my own apartment, and I'd go for a jog in the morning, every morning. Didn't even have winter clothes to be like jogging in the cold kind of thing, but I was dedicated to doing it. I was losing weight, I was getting in shape, and I felt the best that I've ever felt. Um, my dream was to just have an elliptical at home. Just do that. Just do that for mobility. Um, as to if I can really do that at the intensity that I used to do, probably not. It's still probably one of the best things for me. I wish I had the elliptical money. It's not in my, you know, it's not in my price range right now. Especially with like car stuff. I mean, I just had the car aligned again for the third time. It's still pulling in the right. We got issues with that still. It's always something, right? But yeah, we're just gonna keep on trucking. We're going to, post the after results. I think that's I think that's big enough that like for as many people as like reality TV and things like that, for someone like me to publicly talk about my transition, to be as open about this, to have gone through as much harassment in literally every comment section of anywhere that I've tried to like explain my life and call me clown hands. Listen, it's a funny thing, right? Go ahead, call me clown hands. I don't care. What? What do you mean? Is that the best you have? Listen, you don't even have your face on the internet. I don't care. Um, I was raised on you call me clown hands. That's like cool, bro. Like what? Anyway, we are just gonna keep at it and to publicly display this kind of you know transformation. I think is a powerful thing, and especially in this timeline where it's scary for trans people to really be out and open in the public. How many of my trans friends had to completely eliminate their social media because of how much harassment they've been going under? Um, and just, yeah, we're front and center. We're showing you what we're going through. We're telling you how difficult it is. the mental weight, the strains, and we are getting through it. Merry Christmas.